I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman describing her suicide attempt as ordinary, like brushing my teeth. In an attempt to answer the question, why did I do it? She tells her life story. This is the opening of book 5, working title, How Low Can You Go? Book 4 ended with Ava falling in love / into despair with an alcoholic wannabe musician. The reader can choose to follow an ending that ends the series there, or for reasons she explains, to go on to book 5. This is book 5. Chapter 1, Olio, the last and first chapter. Add date here. For what it's worth, while I was falling with Greg, I was rising in other ways. I was as balanced as I've ever been, I suppose, but in a bipolar type way. Does that make sense? My heart was crushed, but no. My heart had compartments. The ones for love and relationships were neglected and dust-filled, with cracked floors, ceilings, and walls, but the ones for art and self-expression were tended and full. I lived in those rooms. No, that's not it either. I couldn't love because my need was so great that I couldn't chance opening up. I couldn't talk about how I felt either. If that limitless desire to be wanted escaped when I opened my mouth, but I had to speak. By which I mean express myself, but I couldn't speak. I couldn't write. No, I haven't captured this correctly. Words bored me in the late 80s. I wanted images and music. Fashion came naturally, or had been inculcated into me via my image-conscious mom. Maybe a bit of both. I nailed my heart's love rooms shut, spray-painted "Keep Out" across them like a boy child with a clubhouse, and dove into the art ones. My Olio. Greg is in a band, which is cool, I guess. He plays guitar, writes songs, and sings. I know that I made him sound like a loser before, but he's really committed to his career, or somewhat committed. His band, named by himself, is called Vertex of Merrill. They play metal, much more metal than you'd expect from someone who hangs around a punk cafe like Nerd and Doof. He's had 2 bands before Vertex, always more metal than punk. I don't listen to much metal. The farthest I go is Soundgarden. Not many people listen to them. Greg does. Emily finds them too hard. I think they're awesome and don't understand why they're not more popular. Vertex of Marrow practices twice a week in someone's basement. The other band members never come to Nerd. Ben, the guy I wish I was with, who lives at Nerd, wants to start a band. He wants to buy a drum machine and an amp for doing shows. After I quit advertising school, I wanted to buy a sampler. I found one at a secondhand shop and asked the guy who worked there how to use it, but it was complicated. I bought a pressure cooker instead. Ben was in a legendary punk band, Johnny and Greg tell me, one of Arbor's first. It was called Apolitical Statement. What was that? I roll over in my pitch black bedroom, listen past the buzz from the wall of electric meters. Is that cigarettes? I hear rustling, then bang! I jump out of bed, run to the light switch and flick it on, grab my robe and step into the hall. Ah! A man's leg and feet dangle through the window over my kitchen / laundry sink. Then Greg's lopsided grin appears beside them. Jesus fucking Christ, I scream, running to help him before he breaks the plastic sink. Just what I need, having to replace my apartment's fixtures. I'm laughing, half hysterical, half relieved, half worried. 3 halves. Oh. Want to go to Lascaux? Greg slurs once he's inside. His entire body leans back from his ankles to his shoulders. He always stands like this when he's loaded. He grins at me through half-closed eyes, sways, takes a drag from his smoke. I laugh. Okay, let's go. Lascaux is on the other side of the Arbor River. While bars close at 1 a.m. in Arbor, they're open until 3 a.m. over there. I call a taxi. In the half-empty dive bar that looks and feels like a large room in an old farmhouse. Anticlimax. Still, to be woken up by someone crawling through your window, then taxiing with them to go drinking in Lascaux at 2 a.m. is cool, right? Defiant? Brave? Right? Put Mercy Street pub section here. Move to just after coming through the window scene. Greg, Johnny, Carrie, and other nerd hangers-on go to a nearby pub more and more. Mercy Street is one of those cozy pseudo-British establishments where everything's made of shiny wood and draft beers are served in mugs that look like oversized grenades with the tops lopped off. I like this place. It feels like home. Johnny hasn't updated the art on Nerd's walls in several months. My sheet with donuts still hangs there beside the drum kit. I'm not going to ask for it back, partly because I'm afraid to upset Johnny and partly because my own walls are filled with new pieces. In Nerd's front room art gallery, there are now pizza boxes with Sharpie drawings on them. There are no music shows happening either. Something's off. I can't even describe it. It's so off. I'm unbalanced, unfocused. Don't know why I'm here or what exactly I want. Greg's ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend lives in the house I'm in, where Vertex of Marrow practice. Maybe that's it. We stared at each other when he answered the door. I certainly didn't know what to say. He's a super nerd, young, pale, conservative haircut, burgundy sweatshirt, no logo or band name, blue jeans. He's a student at Arbor U. The house looked normal, not like the crash pads Greg lives in. Claire, Greg's ex-girlfriend, is an anomaly too. She's 5 years younger than me, fresh-faced and full of confidence in her prim Doris Day jackets and frilly shirts buttoned up to the neck. She knows she can have Greg back whenever she wants. Every so often, Greg disappears for a couple days. When he comes back, he says he's been with her. There's nothing going on, I know that. She's got a new boyfriend. She gives Greg money, though, like hands him stacks of cash. She's an English student who works part-time as a receptionist at the tombstone making place. She got Greg that job, in fact. Around the corner in the neat, clean-looking house, go down the stairs and pick my way in the semi-darkness past broken furniture, piles of wood, and cables. I step over ski poles and nails beneath my feet, dodge beams and pipes overhead. At the back of the room, a single bulb hangs down over an oriental carpet that holds a drum kit and 3 guitars. A couple amps sit at the corners of the rug, facing outwards. Greg stands off to the side, talking and drinking with guys I've never seen before. I see the backs and partially lit faces of Ben and Johnny to the left, in front of the carpet. They're with another nerd resident, Carrie, and his extremely lucky and talented girlfriend, Stevie. Stevie is 19. She has an apartment where the rent is 1/4 of her disability check. I'm so jealous. She showed us pictures of it. It looks like an artist loft, all concrete and steel, even if it is tiny. Stevie publishes a zine, Cheshire. God, she's talented. I join the nerd crew and we mumble highs. Greg sees me and smiles but doesn't come over. He's being rock star, I suppose, enjoying everyone looking at him as he talks loudly and laughs with his long-haired friends. Vertex of Marrow. It really is his band. He named it. He's the singer and guitarist. He may even have recruited the other 3 guys. At any rate, they're in the band for him. Does that make sense? It's Greg's energy and drive that glues them all together. There are 2 more long hairs, thin and unsmiling, and a pudgier guy with short hair, smoking and drinking behind Greg. I assume they're the rest of Vertex. A couple teen-looking guys run across the oriental rug, pulling at cables and adjusting equipment. Groupies. Roadies, I mean. Pretend roadies. There's no road here. Greg tests the amplifier. They start off at a low volume, then work their way up to an acceptable loudness. Loud, but given Greg's personality, I expected to be deafened before they even started playing. About 20 people in the audience. We wait 2 hours before Vertex of Marrow take the rug, as you do. Zzz. Pling, pling, pling. A tsunami of guitar, indecipherable screaming, and drums appear lost in a wet barrage like bits of wood and debris surfacing before getting sucked back down again. I'm always trying to get Greg to record the softer songs he sometimes sings to me as a joke. Record it with your electric guitar, unplugged, just plucking the strings, I say. It'll be weird and cool. He looks at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Super G flies through space, the sole survivor of the human race. Oh, 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 oh. I never hear Greg sing his ballads to anyone but me. He probably sings them to Claire, though.